Alright guys, well here we are back at Lexington about to test out this crit build and just show you the numbers that you can get as far as sustainability. So I got it on challenging. Let's get in here and see what we can get going.
This is about taking the Rikers out at the knees. There's no one who can
Now,
replace LARRYDINGALBERRY.
I'd like to go over
She's the
here
one who
towards the
organized
side a
escape
little
to
bit.
Manhattan.
They're holding 3 of my people
Here we
there.
go.
If you can
Hit
get
him with
them
that
out
pulse.
before blowing the lid off,
Yep,
I'd
I
be
need to use
grateful.
my house too, just so you can really
Get
see
them out first.
the
Just
damage. I
don't
mean, look
jeopardize
at
the
that.
mission.
That was
We're going in on your
amazing.
heels. The
That's what I
jailbreak
mean
ends
about the
here.
blind death too. As you can see, it goes away very quickly, and you know, as you can see, I'm still getting health on a kill. I got 30% health on a kill for this build, so it's working. You can see these guys are going down like nothing. The numbers that I'm getting are pretty good. 50-something thousand crits. Yeah, pretty good. Was that it? Oh, that was it. I thought there was another guy left. Well, cool. Well, I mean, at least you get to see how that works. Hopefully that helped you out. Now let's get into that build, huh? Hey, what is up, everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with a breakdown on my Nomad crit build. This build today is going to revolve around crit chance and damage, just trying to optimize the damage output as much as possible, because I believe Nomad is pretty tanky as is. You know, you have the constant overheal going on as well as the health on a kill, and then, you know, the Nomad itself, you get that extra life or 2 or 3 lives depending on how lucky you are. So I was gonna kind of focus on just the firearms aspect of it more or less on this build. I am also going to be doing another build that revolves around the health on a kill, just trying to max that out as much as possible so that you don't have to use your medkits or your heals at all, you know, or, you know, as little as possible, and be getting a lot of health back every time you put someone down. So if you're interested in that, stick around to the end. I will have a link for that, or you can check out the channel. It'll be on there. If you are new to the channel and you enjoy these videos, you find them helpful at all, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content, and drop a comment down there. Let me know what you're thinking about all this. So let's get into the build. Alright everyone, and here it is. So, as you can see, the firearms we have at 7,600, we have the stamina at 5,300, and the electronics at 2,900. Don't be afraid of that 457,000 toughness. This is a very resilient build. You got to remember, you got 1 or 2 or 3 lives, depending on how lucky you are, with the constant heal that you're getting, as well as the health on a kill. This is a very resilient build, so if, you know, 450,000 is pretty good. If you can get to that 500,000 mark, you know, that's pretty good too. I mean, obviously that would be optimal, but with the firepower that we're putting down, you know, it has a good balance. I'll just put it that way. Which brings me to the weapons. I'm gonna go over the skills and talents here at the end. I think it'll make a little bit more sense at the end after we crunch some other numbers. So I'm gonna wait a little bit. But regardless, the weapons that I'm gonna be using are the House and the LVOA. The House that has Hurried, Deadly, and Card Counter on it, obviously. Now that Hurried talent, I can't stress it enough. That is a awesome talent to have on a weapon. Critical hits increase reload speed by 10% to a minimum of 1 second reload time, especially for PvP. This is awesome because, you know, a lot of people have that, you know, 2.5+ second reload time, maybe 3 or 4 seconds if they got that LMG out. And, you know, if you got this, you can capitalize on them a lot easier, and it kind of catches them off guard as well. So don't overlook that talent. If you get it, at least try it out a little bit and see what you think. Now, moving on to the LVOA, this is like a gem for me. This is perfect. Responsive, Deadly, Unforgiving. I mean, you know, with the crit chance that we're going to get to a max here in a little bit, with a lot of crit damage as well, and then responsive kicks in the closer that you are, and the, you know, missing health segments increase my damage as well. So it's just damage on top of damage on top of damage. It really is awesome, and people do not like it, let me tell you. So moving on to the gear pieces itself. Alright, so we should probably take a look at what Nomad actually does first before we get into anything. Let's just skim over that. The 2-piece gives you that 15% health on a kill. The 3-piece gives you the talent Nomad's Resolve. Grants a constant small amount of healing, allowing the user to regenerate all segments of health during combat. The 4-piece gives you the Path of Nomad. When receiving fatal damage, you are instead healed to full health. Can occur once every 4 minutes. The 5-piece gives you plus 10% health on a kill, and the talent Improved Nomad's Resolve increases the amount of healing from the Nomad's Resolve. Nomad's Resolve will now overheal. I remember back in the day we always used to use the Vigorous chest pieces to get the overheal. I mean, some people still use them, but this just gives it to you, as well as now having 25% health on a kill, so every time you put someone down, you get a quarter of your life back. Not too bad. Now moving on to the 6-piece talent, gives you that Nomad's Luck, 50% chance to have no cooldown for Path of Nomad, take 60% less damage for 10 seconds after the Path of Nomad is triggered. So, you know, depending on how good your luck is, you have that 50% chance to have no cooldown instead of that 4-minute cooldown time, and you take 60% less damage for 10 seconds if it is hit. So, I mean, again, that 450,000 toughness, this is a very resilient build. So keep that in the back of your head when you're trying to roll things. Now, let's look at what the actual gear pieces are rolled to and how everything's working out here. The chest piece that I have is rolled for stamina. We have health on a kill, health, and ammo capacity. We have 2 firearms with health mods on there. The mask is rolled for firearms with 4% crit hit chance and 16% disorient resistance. And we have another firearms with health mod as well. Moving to the knee pads, we have rolled for stamina with that 9% crit hit damage. These have disorient, disrupt, and burn resistance on there. So again, get that resistance up as much as possible across the board. And this has a firearms with skill power mod on there. Now, the reason I did this was a couple reasons. Obviously, it's a plus 260 firearms mod, so it's a pretty strong firearms mod, as well as that skill power going up a little bit. Because if you accompany it with these performance mods that, like for instance, mine here is a 5% first aid self-heal mod. I use a few of these on this build, so I think I'm getting like 15% roughly first aid self-heal when you pop your heal. If your skill power is a little bit higher, it helps a little bit. I mean, it does make a difference. So just check that out when you're building your stuff. The holster here is basically rolled for stamina and electronics, again, just to get that electronics a little bit higher. It has a pretty good firearms roll on it as well. Could be better, obviously, but it has that 4% crit hit chance on there, and the 6% first aid self-heal mod on there. Now moving up to the gloves here, we got a max roll for firearms and SMG damage with crit hit chance and damage on there. These are some awesome gloves, if you ask me. Not too bad. Now, the backpack that I am using is rolled for firearms with health and bleed resistance. Again, just getting that resistance up. I should go for ammo because I've been struggling with it back and forth. I've been running out of ammo a little bit here and there, and it's kind of getting frustrating. But again, that bleed resistance, if you can get that up, you know, if you hit a predator that doesn't have that 9,000 stamina, this will come into account. So just get it on there somewhere, I'd say. I've been doing all right with it, not too bad. And this has a firearms with skill haste mod, just so you can get a little bit of skill haste, I guess. And again, it's a plus 260 firearms mod, and it has another 5.5% first aid self heal on there, with a plus 2% pulse crit hit chance mod. Now that is key right there, just that plus 2%. Okay. Keep that number in the back of your head, because we're going to run over to the character sheet real quick and take a look at our crit hit chance. We're at 49.5% crit hit chance. So plus 2%, we're sitting at 51.5% crit hit chance. We're getting real close to the cap of 60. And our crit hit damage is 112%. So anything over 100% is what I usually recommend. We're at 112. So again, this is pretty good going on here. And the headshot damage as well, 55%. So how we're going to get that past that 51.5% is just using a pulse. And you can use any pulse that you want. Really, it doesn't matter. You're going to be over the cap by 1 or 2%. Roughly, no matter which one that you are using. Now, if you want my opinion on them, the Recon Pack Pulse is probably the best to go with, because it has the lowest cooldown. You get it back the fastest. And it does have pretty good crit hit damage on there. And again, it doesn't matter, even this 9.6%, 51.5%, and plus 9.6%, you're still at 61.1%. You're over the cap regardless. And this has the lower cooldown, like I was saying, so it doesn't matter whatever your personal preferences, whatever you want to do, you can use any of them at all, does not matter, and you will be at that max crit hit chance. So other than that, I mean, I'm just going to be using the overdose here. I like the overdose. You could use your booster shot, whatever personal preference, as well as the recovery link signature. And go over to the talents. I'm going to be using adrenaline and critical save. If you've watched my videos before, I've talked about this. These two are definitely a must-have, I'd say. Medkit now gives 7 seconds of immunity from status effect, and it also gives you damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. So, you know, that's a double banger right there. It's awesome to have on there. Now, if you're running in a group, definitely throw a combat medic on. That's like a must, I'd say. But I also have on them, one is none. This is probably one of my favorite. Headshot a hostile to have 50% chance of not consuming the bullet. I like the face tank, so this is going to save up on that ammo that you didn't spec into the backpack, or at least I didn't. And then I have on the move. I love this talent. Kill a hostile while moving to reduce incoming damage by 15% for 10 seconds. So again, all of these combined and that 450,000 toughness, it works out pretty good, guys. I mean, you got to think of all these other factors into it. You can't just look at it at face value and say, oh, that's garbage. You know, it is what it is. I mean, you have to think of all these different little things that everyone has going, and you can't just take it for face value all the time. So again, that's the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this helpful some way, shape, or form. If you did, definitely smash that like button, subscribe for future content, and drop a comment down there. Let me know what you're thinking. And I'm definitely going to be putting that video up. It should be popping up here anytime now. Click on that link and check that build out. That's going to show you how to get as much health on a kill as physically possible. I did pretty good on that, I think, and I hope you enjoy it. So until next time, guys, take it easy. I'll see you then. Later.